My top 10 CV tips. Tip number 1, your CV is your sales brochure. It's got to compete with a lot of others, so make sure it's very relevant for the role you apply for. Tip number 2, where possible, avoid coloured paper. Unless you're applying for a creative role, coloured paper may get the attention, but employers can't scan it or upload it into their databases, so stick to white paper and a black font. Tip number 3, most employers prefer a 2-page CV. If you have lots of experience and you need to go into a 3rd page, make sure it's relevant. Tip number 4, CVs must be factual, and remember what you've put on them. Qualifications, experience and achievements will all be probed by an experienced interviewer. Tip number 5, personal profiles are very common on CVs. Keep them brief, keep them to the point, and make sure they link to the information in your CV. Tip number 6, you shouldn't have one CV. You should have one CV per application. Every job is different, therefore you need to make sure the information within your CV is relevant for each job you apply to. Tip number 7, always speak in the first person, not the 3rd person. This is your sales brochure, it's from you and it's about you. Tip number 8, if you're going to list referees in your CV, list your employer referees and list all their contact information. Tip number 9, every time you send a CV, also send a covering letter. And make sure that covering letter is tailor-made for the job that you're applying for. Tip number 10, put yourself in the shoes of the employer. Think about what they're looking for, what information do they require, what's relevant for their role. Good luck.